Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and well, Ubisoft has just announced its latest IP in the Tom Clancy series, and it is Tom Clancy XDEFIANT. When you abbreviate that title, it basically shortens down to Tom Clancy XD. So when your abbreviations start resembling emojis, you know where the art style is going and where the aesthetics are going. And that's pretty much the story here. Now, I'm not here to complain about this game. Far from it. I'm actually not going to talk about any negatives with this game, except for the first 1 minute. And even that is not necessarily negative. But here we go. Now, what do we know about this game? What the hell is this game? Now, this game, aesthetically speaking, when you look at what the gameplay looks like, it is basically, if you ask a 12-year-old, like, hey, what do you think is really cool looking? This is what you will probably get. So, aesthetically speaking, this game is probably trying to target those 12-year-old audience of Fortnite and Call of Duty. Which is fine. I don't mind. Because, hey, I might not be 12 anymore, but there are people who are 12. If they are making you money, why not? That sounded bad, but you get my point. We can't exactly talk about these things because we can't change these decisions. Now, as for the gameplay itself, as we saw in the trailer itself, and also as the developers later confirmed, this is going to be a very Call of Duty-ish gameplay with a very low time to kill. So like they are going for that low time to kill rather than, extending the gameplay like something like Rainbow Six Siege or maybe even Battlefield to some extent. Like, yes, the time to kill in Battlefield isn't that high, but it's still sort of good. And also like Apex Legends, the time to kill in Apex Legends is actually kind of high unless you're going with snipers and stuff. So it's unlike those games. It's very much like Call of Duty, but it's also not like Call of Duty. This game has sort of its own thing. The reason being that the other aspect of the game is that it's a 6v6 arena shooter like Overwatch. Now, you might be thinking right now, hey, I just mentioned 2 games. Like this, none of this seems original. It isn't. I'm not going to say that this is original in any way, shape or form. This is not a Siege. This is not an Apex Legends. This is not an Overwatch. This is not a Call of Duty. And you might say that, oh, Call of Duty is very derivative, but Call of Duty copies from itself. So like the original franchise is kind of still their own. That is my point. So now, of all of these things, when you combine that into one single game, there is always this risk that it might not appeal to anyone. And there is always this reward where it might appeal to just about everyone. Now, it might appeal to Call of Duty fans who like that low time to kill. I personally don't, because I suck at it. Because I usually don't get those headshots on. I usually, even with the body shots, like it's so short, the timings are so short, that I end up losing almost every gun battle anyway. So that considered, yes, I suck at it. Yes, I will probably get better with practice. But I also like that this is a 6v6 arena shooter. That means there will be some amount of strategy involved, some amount of playing the objectives involved. And if that is the case, and if it's like TF2, like I think I even heard them talking about a payload mode. So if it's like that, if it is actually like, one of those original like Team Fortress 2 modes, then I do feel like this game has something going for it. Because in that case, even though I might not, I might suck at the gameplay, I might not enjoy the gunplay as much, there's something for me to look forward to. If you don't like the 6v6 arena shooter stuff, hey, maybe the gunplay would sell you on it. So it's basically Ubisoft trying to, capture the most widest possible audience, which for them is pretty obvious. Like they do that with almost every single franchise. And now I've told you that I would be more positive about this game. And so far I have been positive about this game. I told you all the things that I'm saying right now, that it is not unique, that it might not end up, grabbing the attention of anyone. All of these things, these are not necessarily bad things. Now to the actual good things. Now the good thing being, this is free to play. You don't have to pay for it. Which obviously means 2 things. One, they need to have a good anti-cheat. And this is going to be a free to play game. That would mean like cheater central. Because It's not the problem with the game. It is just that human beings are shit. And they will try to take advantage of different methods to, make themselves feel better for being pathetic. Now look, I suck at almost all games. But I have never in my life cheated in a multiplayer game. Yeah, sometimes in a single player game, I have put God mode on. Or maybe I've cheated to get some cash in a single player game where I've already finished the game. I'm just, at this point, I'm just going for it. But never in a multiplayer game. Because that to me is very unethical. I can control my own experience. But if I start to hamper the experience of other players who are going to be playing the game, then I'm a piece of shit. So I don't want to be a piece of shit. So I don't do it. But people will. So it would need to have a good anti-cheat. But the other aspect of being a free-to-play game is that it is open to everyone to try. Like, hell, you don't need to drop $60 to get into the game. Like right now, if I look at, say, Battlefield, or I don't think Call of Duty is releasing this year, but even if it does, let's say Call of Duty is also releasing this year. There's Battlefield, Call of Duty, or let's say one of my favorite FPS games of all time being Rainbow Six Siege. Now all of these games, you need to pay some amount of money upfront to actually get into these games. Now you might think that, hey, I'm spending $60 or $20 or $40 on this game. Will it be worth it? Will I actually play this game enough to justify that amount of money that I've put in? And that is a question only you can answer, and that is a question you may not want to answer. And that is all on you. But being a free-to-play game, it costs you nothing but data to just download the game and try it out. And hell, if you like it, which I've said in the previous categories, like there seems to be something for everyone, you may end up liking it, and hey, it's a good thing. You now have a good new FPS to play. It looks generic, yes. The art style looks like something out of a 12-year-old's mind, yes. But that doesn't mean the game won't be fun. And that's what I'm basing my whole entire opinion on. Now this game will be ready to test on August 5th, but only if you live in USA and Canada, and only if you are on PC. Which I am on PC, but I don't live in America, I don't live in Canada, so I'm screwed. So I'm hoping I get to play this game at some point, maybe a closed alpha, maybe a closed beta, something like that, or an open beta. I don't care. I do want to try this game out. Now on to, should you try this game? What should you do about this game? Now a lot of people I've seen have been, spamming the hashtag of hold Ubisoft accountable. Yes, you should. But you also have to consider, A, you are simply spamming these hashtags to people who can do absolutely nothing about it. Because the people who are in there, like the people who are running those live streams, the people who are putting these posts on Twitter, they are not the ones responsible. Maybe they also want the higher ups to be accountable, but there is nothing they can do about it. So in essence, you have become the very thing you swore to destroy, because you are increasing pressure on them even though they don't deserve it. But also one more thing, you asking a publisher to be accountable should not correlate with you being able to play a game or not. Now there are many publishers, even outside Ubisoft, who are not the best. Like, take CDPR. If it's a big publisher, they are going to have problems. They are going to have internal problems. Now, it is up to us to call them out on it, yes. But that doesn't mean we don't play the games. And that doesn't mean that we can't play the games, that we are morally obligated not to try these games. Because at the end of the day, gaming is what we do. Like, that's our hobby. And if we can't play the games because of the stupid decisions of one company, that's not really fair on us. And that's not really fair on the people who did work to get these games out. Like, what do you think is happening? Yes, it's a stupid decision by Ubisoft, in my opinion, to have sort of this childish FPS game. But the people who develop this, at the end of the day, they are the ones, the developers, the testers, they are the ones putting their hearts and souls into this game. And it's not really a bad thing if I can appreciate that. So yes, call the higher ups out all you want, call the companies out all you want, but that should not interfere you with giving the developers and the testers and everyone else the credit that they do deserve. But that is my own personal opinion. Yours might differ. I come from a very different perspective. I've explained in another video that, having worked there, this is my perspective. Because I cannot see them as the bad guys. At least the people who are working there as the bad people. Because my experience has been very different. And for me, it is very difficult to see this. And it is very difficult to digest this. But it is true. I cannot deny the facts that I am staring at. So yeah, I will continue to do my part. I am going to call out the higher ups. I am going to ridicule them. I am going to, call them out on their shit. But I am also going to enjoy the games because at the end of the day, that's all what this is about. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a generic ass game that you are not interested in trying? Would you still try it out since it's free to play? How would you have approached this game? Do let me know down in the comments below. And I look forward to actually trying this game out. And I will leave you guys in peace.